morning, good morning, good morning. It is October, it is Saturday morning, October the 23rd. Peace and blessings be with all y'all. I'm not going I'm not going to hold you guys for too long, but I want to say something. Uh this is what we need to happen. I want to send a major shout out to the Union County uh, day school, those teachers there. I want to send a huge shout out to you guys. And, because that's what it's about. You have to stand up for what is right and what is wrong. Those teachers took a stand. And no, we think and we say, oh, the children are gonna suffer. The children are just gonna suffer for a little bit. But we have some adulting we have to take care of. And this is what I've been talking about. You gotta take a stand on something. Because at the end of the day, we are the people. We put these people in place, these boards, these superintendents, and we could take them out. If there's no teachers and the teachers are demanding something, they're gonna move, and they're demanding that board step down. Not one person, not two people, the entire board. They're tired of it. They've been through that Union Day School. From my understanding and my findings, have been through 5 principals. And this last principal was supposed to have been like a really good guy, and they got rid of him, and they're like tired of it. So that's not the only reason, but that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And the teachers were tired. They're like, hey, we got a really good one here, and you're gonna get rid of this guy too? Like, now they were probably fine, because they had a good principal in there, so they were going to work through whatever they felt need. That they probably were going to work through the issues they might have had, being that they got a good principal. But then when you let him go, that really just sent the teachers overboard. And and at this time, yes, the students are suffering, but this is what we have to do when we're trying to make change today. We have to take a stand on things, and that's just not an education, that's on everything. Because like I've always said, and like I've been saying rather, since this pandemic, there's a lot of things that have transpired. People have been able to get closer with their families. They spent time locked in with their family, and we were all on the go. Everyone was all on the go. So it was time for some people, not all of us, because all of us are, we were able to balance. But some people were just steady on the go. Some people hiding behind work, and then when it got to the point where you had to sit down, people learned a lot about themselves. People stepped back and examined their life as a whole and their situations. And even today we have people, they're still saying like, oh yeah, people were getting that extra unemployment benefits. They weren't going to work. That's why they're not going to work. That may be true for some, but that's not true for all. There was a finding that at least since the pandemic, 1.7 million people have created their own jobs. They have jumped through their hat in the entrepreneurial field, and they've created their own businesses. And you can even see it, even surfing the internet, social media sites. You can see people of baking, creating little clothing lines, different things people are doing. Washing vehicles, pressure washing homes. People. You can just look around. So and people are just not going back to work because they don't want. People had whole families. People are taking stance. Even when you look into the medical field, and they're saying there's a shortage on nurses and things of that nature, they're walking out because of here in North Carolina. in Greensboro, you just heard like Cone Hospital lost like 68 employees or something of that nature. If I'm wrong, correct me on that, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in the Triad, Guilford County Triad, ever correct me on that. But I believe it is 68 that they lost employees. They walked out. The people, they left because they're not like, they don't want to take the vaccine, and that's everybody's human right. That's their right. And nobody should be pressuring and bullying or looking down on someone because of their belief and their right. If you believe that you want to take the vaccine, that's your belief, that's your belief. If somebody doesn't want to take it because they feel like it's not enough adequate information for them, and if they never taken a vaccine before, and they may have not even ever had to take the flu vaccine, so if they don't want to take this vaccine now, that's their human right. That's their right, and no one should be talking down or looking down on someone for that matter. Because at the beginning of all of that, you remember they were telling people, not to talk down on people. Let's not try to make folks feel bad for taking it or not taking it, the vaccine or whatever. But now we're seeing that fingers are kind of like being pointed in that, at folks who haven't took it. So, that's not right, but so to go back to what I was saying, people, they try to say, oh, people, the job market is, employers are looking for employees, and employees are not coming back to work because of the unemployment. No, people are taking a stand on their life. Some people have stepped back during this pandemic and re-examined and reevaluated their life. And they see like, okay, you can just imagine if you got a whole family and somebody tell you that you're not, the first time any of us, let's not act like we all heard that word before, essential and non-essential. The first time any of us heard, when you hear the government use that word, like, oh yeah, all the non-essential workers, and so you're looking at the news and you're like, what, non-essential? And then you find out that you're like non-essential and pretty much like you're not needed. Like, nah, we don't need you to be working. We need these folks over here to working. So then you sit back and you figure out like, wow, my job is not really, I'm in a job that's not needed. So you sit back and you think, how many people are honestly, if you have a family that's going to honestly stay in that position? Like, I'm not going to put myself in that position again to be out if this thing happens and continues to go on. I have a family to take care of. Like, I'm not going to stay in that position. So any wise person is going to step back and reevaluate their life and situation at that time. If not, then yeah, you just may be those people that's just sitting home and not wanting to go back to work, period, and just gonna drain out the system and get all that you can get at this present time, while they're handing out all of these different fundings for paying rent, paying light bills, paying water bills, pretty much, giving different like food assistance. So maybe you are that person that, that's in that bunch that's just not going to go back to work. You're just going to suck the system dry. And some people took on the stance of, hey, well, if they get it, I might as well sit home and get it too. So it's different things. But then to get back to the whole topic at hand right now, I give major props to those teachers at Union County Day School, which is in Weddington, North Carolina, right outside of Charlotte, and they're not having it. I want to read, if you guys haven't, if you're not up on it and don't know what's going on, let me read to you, because all major outlets around the state of North Carolina, and I guarantee around the nation, they're talking about it, because this is the first this year I've heard of teachers actually walking out. And I'm not talking about just some, the whole school. The whole school, Union County Day School, the whole school, all the teachers, they left. Yeah, they on strike. All right, let's read this here. A Union County charter school that canceled its elementary classes on Monday after too many teachers said they were too upset to come in. following their principal's abrupt firing, has canceled all of its classes for the rest of the week due to staffing shortages. Now, mind you, let us back up here. This happened earlier this week. You know, um, this happened very earlier this week on a Monday. So um, the teacher sent home letters or whatever, or sent emails, I should say. All right, so let me continue going. In a late night message on Wednesday, Union Day School in Weatherton told parents classes won't be held on Thursday or Friday. The school sent a notice to parents just before 10 p.m. on Wednesday that classes would be canceled for the rest of the week because of staffing shortages. Channel 9 education reporter Elsa Gellis heard from two teachers at Union Day School who said they are on strike until the school board resigns. Till the school board resigns, they going on strike. Those teachers told Channel 9 they sent a list of questions they wanted the board to answer about the firing of the school's former head of school. The teachers said the board did not answer those questions. The message to parents that went out just before 10 p.m. from the school's board of directors said there's a lack of availability school staff this week and that the board is assessing the current situation. The message went on to say the decision to cancel classes was necessary for the safety and security of all students. School officials said they plan to reopen on Monday and that there will be makeup days in the future. According to staff that spoke with Channel 9, the school's board fired former principal Matthew Hamilton last Friday. Channel 9 has been following this situation since Monday, when many upset parents, teachers, and staff protest the board's decision. We're told Hamilton was the sixth principal at Union Day School, which is a K-8 charter school, in the last 5 years. So let me back up earlier, because I read something else, so it's conflicting right here, because I read something else. It was another media outlet. I think it was Fox 46 down in Charlotte, in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg area. They said that their Union Day School had went through 5 principals in 5 years. So there's some conflict in that story right there, because they're saying it went through 6 principals here on TV9 here. So let me continue on, ladies and gentlemen. We're told Hampton was the 6th principal at Union Day School, which is a K-8 charter school. In the last 5 years, a staff member told Elsa that Hamilton was working on long-term plans for the school just before he was fired. The board chair, Jim Lavelle, sent the following message to parents on Thursday. Dear parents, I was out of town yesterday on business, returning late. Upon returning, I was informed that a significant number of teachers were not going to show up for school this morning. Following 2 days of normal school activity, I was hopeful the Union Day School was returning to school as usual. I guess not. School was canceled in order to make sure children were safe. Here's 3 key things I've heard. We have received many communications from teachers that they want to get back to teaching their children. Parents are fed up with this disruption to their child's education and parent schedule. Parents want transparency. I will be getting up to speed on who, what, where, and why are not in school today. We will be assessing our staff needs and talking with faculty. Folks are extremely disappointed that the Union Day School is not in school today. Children's education and safety should never be in play to create an outcome. I will be back in contact with you. Statement from Union Day School. Some of our Union Day teachers request personnel information regarding the termination of employee. All right, I'm going to stop right there. And I'll get back to it. So, if you saying this right here, what this gentleman said, right? What's his name? The board chair, Jim Lavelle. See, he's not even addressing the real issue. He's trying to, and this is the problem that you have with people not trying to address the issue. He's trying to make it as if the teachers are being disruptive and they are causing a problem, when the teachers are actually tired and they've been dealing with their BS. And it's not only the principal why that one principal got fired while they're protesting. That's not the issue. They had other issues that hasn't been spoken of still yet. The teachers have not even, it's not even in the media, all the other issues. So still they're not even saying them, but they just want that principal getting fired was the straw that broke the camel back. So, but this guy right here, the chairman, the board chair, Jim Lavelle. See, he wasn't even in town, right? He caught back in town and caught wind of, oh wow, the teachers are not coming back to school at Union Day. So he's not even trying to. He knows what's going on, but he's overlooking the whole situation and trying to make it like the teachers are the problem. And this is the problem that we have throughout the workforce, not just education. When there's a problem, you have people that sit in positions that don't want to pay attention and to the real issue. So I see why, if they have any issues, I see why they do, because they have a guy like this, he's just not paying attention to nothing. And then he's trying to make it like, oh, the parents are. No. Actually, they had an issue down there in Union County, North Carolina, with parents being kicked out of board meetings as well because they had issues. See, this all goes back to the Merrick Garland. Like I told you, we went to CRT. See, he was trying to make this big thing that, see, they went and ran to him, or he jumped on board with this whole thing and pushing this narrative about angry parents coming to board meetings and causing incidents, which is not true. The reason why he got into it, like I've been said to you guys, and I talked about it in the last week, and I touched on it yesterday on the 22nd, is because his son-in-law Zan Tanner, his company pushes is in charge of the literature for the CRT, the critical race theory, okay? And Zan Tanner's already has gotten $27 million from schools around the country, from the Northeast to the Midwest to the Southeast to the South, Deep South. He's received money. And so you have Merrick Garland, the U.S. Attorney General. He jumped in because that's his son-in-law. So that's family money right there. But I haven't heard about the meeting that they had at Capitol Hill with U.S. Attorney General Garland about that issue, and the January 6th issue when they stormed Capitol Hill. There's a whole bunch of other issues that they wanted to question him on. And one of those was pretty much taking the rights away from parents about, you taking people's freedom of speech. Like, people can't come to boards and say nothing. So then you have these board members that are really pushing this, and then just really trying to kick people out of schools. Just like Guilford, kick people out of the board meetings, like Guilford County, they trying to, like, they got metal detectors. You got to come through. They're vetting people who wants to come. And the whole thing is just trying to silence people, silence the parents. You know what I mean? Like, they're not doing that type of things in city councils. Why are we doing that at school boards? Because they want to do what they want to do. They don't want the parents to say anything. They want the parents to turn the cheek. And so we don't know as of yet what all of these teachers at Union Day School have actually dealt with, but they tired. And like I said, that principal getting fired was the straw that broke the camel's back. That was it. That just sent them off the edge, man. And you have to expect that, and they taking a stance, and these are the things that you have to do to get people's attention, especially when you bring value to something. You have to stand on something. You have to stand on something. And it's not one teacher, not two teachers. There are many teachers that the whole school, Union Day School in Weddington, North Carolina, right outside of Charlotte, that the school had to shut down. So now you have this guy saying school will resume on Monday. Well, we shall see if school will resume on this Monday, which will be, the 25th? We shall see. Because if you had to shut down for 2 days for the remainder of the week, already. Well, we shall see if school will start back. But see what they're not trying to address the issue. So this can go on for the rest of the week. Cause see, even in that email that the board chairman Jim Laville, just in that email, you can see that he ain't, but he gonna see things as real when Monday come, and he still gonna have a shortage. See, he probably one of them people that still don't pay attention that, you really got a teacher shortage out here. So it ain't gonna be so easy to get so many substitute teachers in. I doubt if you got 50 teachers out, because we don't really know the full number of teachers they have missing there. If anybody from Union County Day School, if you're watching this video, tap in and let us know. Drop a message in the comment or something. Give us some more insight. Let us know how many teachers are actually gone, and if you know what the real problem is, drop a message down in the comments there and let us know, or send an email me at Space Invaders. I'll drop it at the bottom here, spyceinvaderz@yahoo.com. I'll also put it at the bottom here too. But let us know if you got more information on what's really the deep rooted problems at Union Day School. Let us know, because this is what it's about. And yes, the children will suffer in this right here for this moment. But if the board members for Union, the board members down there, if they want to get it right, then they'll handle the situation. If they want to get it right, they'll step down, or they'll get to the bottom of it and handle the issues that the teachers have. Start listening to the teachers. Start listening to the people that are boots on the ground, that make your day to day, that make you look good. The teachers, the teachers are under appreciated, man. I tell you, because you need them. It takes a lot to train, and people have, it seems like a lot of people, they play games with this education system, and they knowing that if these teachers step up and walk out on you, like these teachers have done at Union Day School, you got a problem. So the thing you want to do is take care of your people, man. Listen to your people when they're talking to you and they're trying to, because they boots on the ground. Listen to them. They're there every day. Like, you're not there, and if they're anything like the board in Guilford County, they don't even go to the schools. They don't even know. Even all the issues that are going on in the schools, you still haven't heard one board member address their school and their district. None of them, because they don't go into schools. I had got the word a long time that they have to be invited. Why do they have to be invited to a school in a district that they representing? So I guess they have to be invited into the restaurants that's in their district, to the businesses in their district too. They just can't walk into and see what's going on. My thing is, how do you represent something that you know nothing about? How can you fully represent something if you don't even know nothing about it? How can you represent something if you ain't shaking hands with the people who are there, boots on the grounds, day to day? How can you respect your job if you don't even know the people? You just may know who the principal is at this one said school. You might just know, you might know this a few teachers here. You know of them, but you're not going into school. How can you fully help something? How can you be a part of fixing something if you're not even there? You know what I'm saying? How can you argue anything? And this is what I'm saying. It's like all the games. So you got these boards. They sit up on these boards and they acting and they're arguing. And they're actually arguing about something. And when you step back and think about it, they're actually arguing about something they know a damn thing about. How do you do that? That's like, how am I? I can't even think of nothing crazy off the top of my head. How can I go argue with a firefighter about his job And I know nothing about it. I don't do fire. I don't put out fires. I don't do that. I don't know his day to day. I don't know his or her day to day. I don't know what it takes to do that. But I'm gonna argue with him about his job. How? I don't know nothing about it. Like it makes no damn sense, man. Like it actually makes no sense when you have jobs out here that you don't get you don't get hired for jobs if you don't know nothing about it. They ask you, they ask you. Well, it used to be on applications. Today is online, digital. They ask you, what qualifications and skills do you have that coincide with this job? They ask you that, right? What questions are they asking these fools on the board, especially here in Guilford County? What questions are they asking you? Because you ain't never do it, and you ain't never making no strides to try to enter these schools and forming relationships so you could just pop up in these schools. That's what you're there for. So when you just go for boards around the country, you're gonna continue to see stuff like this. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, Union Day School just set the tone right there. All right, Union Day School set the tone right there, and this is stuff I've been talking about. Like people, you have to take a stand on something, or you're gonna fall for anything and everything. Cause these people gonna keep on trying. And as I always said, and I'm gonna end this right here. Oh, well, I do want to show y'all something else because I know some people have conflicts with these schools. Hold on. Let me see something. Because some people may say, oh, well, they can do that. That's a charter school, so they can just do that. But I'm gonna get something straight for a lot of y'all before I wrap up, though. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So, like I've said before, this pandemic, some people may agree with me, some people may not. If you don't click off right now after I say what I say, I believe in my heart that the pandemic was something that the Most High created and made happen because everybody was moving fast. If you think about what was going on before the pandemic, it just was out of control. Prices was out of control. People charging all these astronomical numbers for things that shouldn't even be. I mean, it just out of control. Things still are out of control, but it was really like out of control. He had to sit people down for a minute. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, you need to sit down for a second here. Like, we got to get some stuff straight. Let me sit y'all down. Let you sit with yourself and figure some things out. So within this, you had so many things come up out of this pandemic. Like I said, people really got a chance to do what it was intended. What I truly believe what it was intended to do. Peace and blessings to the lives that we lost and throughout this pandemic. But it was some sacrifices that had to be made. And if anybody know, like they say in the Bible, if he come like he want to come, you wouldn't even understand it. And people still don't even understand it. At this very moment, people still don't even understand it. Like, you had a lot of people saying, like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, this pandemic really got me. I can't make... Well, how you going to make money if nobody is really working? If there's only a certain class of people able to work, and all they can do is work and go home. It was a point during the pandemic, if anybody remember, because it seemed like some people just don't remember a lot. During the pandemic, you were only really, if you were considered essential, you were only going to go to work and go right home. It wasn't really nothing to do. I mean, you could run to the grocery store. You might can go through a drive-thru and get something to eat, go to the pharmacy or whatever, go get you some gas, just the essential things. It wasn't much you can do. It wasn't any hanging out. Some people, you seen more people walking a track in parks than ever. People were just trying to get out. So people fail to realize that, like, and you have people still trying to pitch things to people. And it's just like, oh man, the mindset of people. It's just the American greed at the end of the day, and still they're not getting it, even still. So you know, but there are those who are in tune with themselves and in tune with their life and are realists, and they took the time to step back. And that was an actual smack in the face of a lot of people. And this is something that America hasn't even is not even addressing. They want to keep, sweeping and keep throwing 52 fake outs and telling you and putting in the media, oh, people not going back to work because, they were getting that unemployment. Well, what's the problem now, America? They're not getting the extra unemployment. People got to work. What's the problem now? The problem is at least 1.7 million people have created their own thing since their own jobs. They jumped into the entrepreneur field since the pandemic. And that may not sound like a lot, but that's a lot. Because you can just imagine some of them jobs that they may have created, they were maybe able to create more jobs for other people as well. Just think about that. Because if 1.7 million people created jobs, just imagine a quarter of them might have been able to put other people in position for employment. So just think about that. You know what I mean? And a lot of people will examine and they're going to do other things in their lives. Yeah, you're going to still have those hanger-ons that's going to just sit home and just suck, the government dry and take whatever they can get. But the leeches, I call them. We just can't keep it real. But there are those who have families that ain't got time and they got wiser. So, and as I said, I don't want to stay on this long, but I want to tie all of this together with how this all works. Like, people are fed up. And that's just what that's Union Day School. Those teachers are the epitome of what fed up is. They tired. They said, we walking out. We ain't going to talk about it. We ain't going to keep talking about it. We going to do it. And they set the tone. And you're going to see this around the country because teachers are tired. Teachers are essential. We need them. It takes a lot to train the mind. And and teachers have been disrespected way too long. They've been disrespected. They get I don't know really what they get paid, but I know they don't get paid much. I've seen some of the pay scales and rates or whatever, but teachers should be getting paid. If we could pay entertainers the money that they get and these entertainers can live like they live, then how about an educator in a K through 12 school can live like that? If you can live like that from tapping and dancing and singing and rapping, then why can't someone who actually is trying to train your mind and train you and trying to elevate you mentally, how can they be overlooked? How can you continue to turn the cheek on them and teach them and treat them like they're entertainers? Because let's be clear, at the end of the day, entertainer, you're here to entertain. That's why when they was doing they were non-essential. We didn't need them. There was no concerts. Was no nothing. We don't need you right now. We in a serious situation. So then what you had entertainers looking for the internet to try to entertain you, starting blogs and things of that nature, trying to entertain you. Meanwhile, the teachers were still sitting at the wayside, still trying to teach. Think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. But I want to do something real quick before we wrap this. I want to show y'all I want to read some facts here because I know even myself I had some questions when it came to like these charter schools and things of that nature, and I was like, I guess you say like ignorant to certain things as well. I'm trying to get to it here. I'm trying to find it, man. Let's see here. Can't find it. Go here. I'm trying to get it because I was trying to show you guys something with a correlation between public schools and the and charter schools and how they were breaking it down. Pretty much, let you know, like charter schools are public schools. They receive funding. They don't receive more funding than your traditional public school. They actually receive less. Um, and a lot of the things like people would think about these schools are pretty much everything that you think is like opposite. Let's just put it like that. Um, and at the end of the day, man, I don't care really what it is. They're still teachers, and they took a stand against something, and they're tired. And at the end of the day, we got to remember that teachers are still human too. They still have their own personal lives. They have things just like all of us. They're still humans. They're just teachers, and they have things they have to deal with as well. But they have to teach not only our children, but some of them have their own children that they gotta have to attend to as well. And throughout this, just like the children were throughout this whole situation here in this pandemic, I feel like in reading different things around the country, I feel like teachers have been taken advantage of, man. Like they've been tossing teachers around, man, and that's why you had shortages. Teachers just got tired, you know, and they're like, man, I'm tired. You know, they put in work. They went to school and get their education to teach and to be made to be felt like they're nothing. They just toss them around, and even when I just look here about in Guilford County and look how they were, like, you know, teachers were in the dark about a lot of things. You and still are. You ask questions about certain things they don't know because you have board members and you have a superintendent that, like I said, that runs things like a dictatorship, and they don't tell. They're not explaining anything. It's like, how do you think you're above somebody who's boots on the ground though? Let's re-examine this real quick here. You and you know what the thing is? It's like that little man syndrome. See, the board members and the superintendent, no, they don't. They not the real ones. They know who are real, who has the strength, and the strength is really with the teachers, with the administration. That's where the strength is at. But see, they want to keep a stronghold and want to act like they're instead of just playing and being equal. Just even though you're not equal, because the teachers are boots on the ground, they can tell you more about the children in their school than you can, because you're not there. If you're on a board or a superintendent, you're not there. So the best thing you could do if you're a board member or a superintendent of schools is to play fair, act as one. Stop trying to act like as though you're above those teachers. Get down. Or in this sense, like Union Day School, get down or lay down. So y'all gonna get down with them. Oh, you gonna make something happen, even if it's not with them teachers. Oh, you gonna do something, cause if you got to get a new set of teachers, oh, you gonna get something, but we gonna see how long it's gonna take you to get a new set of teachers. But I'm gonna tell you right now, bet you that board down there in Weatherton, North Carolina, that Union Day School, I bet you they bored. I bet you they get it together. I guarantee that, because the teachers have spoken. Get down or lay down. That's what it is. So that's my time, y'all. I had to talk about that when that came through my feed yesterday evening. I was like, wow. I was actually excited. I was actually happy, that the teacher, somebody, somewhere just said, I'm tired. Enough is enough. And just think about it, y'all. School year really just begun. You got teachers already that walked out. This is just the beginning. You're gonna have more going on around the country, because you having more parents speaking up around the country. So much so that you had U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland jumping in, trying to create this narrative because it's messing up his family's money. You know what I'm saying? So just think about that. Think about that. It's a lot. It's a lot. But that's my time, y'all. Peace and blessings. I'll talk to y'all next week.